All right, let's be honest. Have you ever really thought about what happens after you flush?
Most people don't. Out of sight, out of mind, as they say.
But it's got to go somewhere, right? So today, we're diving into a world most of us never see, the surprisingly complex world of sewer construction workers.
And to help us navigate this subterranean world, we're turning to RoleCatcher.
Which, by the way, if you haven't checked them out yet, they're like the go-to source for all things career-related.
They really dig deep into different professions.
Unintended.
Maybe. But what's cool is they don't just tell you about the job, they highlight the skills you need, the career paths you can take.
It's like a roadmap for your career journey.
Yeah.
So sewer construction, I'll admit, when I hear that, I mostly picture, I don't know, pipes
Yeah.
and maybe a really big trench.
Yeah, that's the sort of the stereotypical image.
Right. But it's got to be more than that.
Oh, it's way more than that. It's not just about laying pipe. It's about understanding how water flows, the pressure it puts on the system.
Making sure everything stays watertight.
Exactly. And it's about solving problems because underground, you never know what you're going to run into.
Speaking of running into things, I was reading on RoleCatcher that sewer systems often have to navigate around existing infrastructure, like utility lines.
Absolutely. You've got gas lines, water mains, electrical cables. It's a crowded space down there.
So you need some serious spatial reasoning skills, right?
Oh, for sure. You've got to be able to think three-dimensionally, figure out how to fit new pipes around existing structures. And it's not just about the pipes themselves. The ground itself can be a challenge.
Different soil types. Right. I remember reading something about that on RoleCatcher.
Yeah, different soils have different properties. Some are more stable than others. And then you've got to think about things like groundwater.
Wow. I'm already starting to see how much more complex this is than I initially thought.
Right. And here's something else that might surprise you. Sustainability is becoming a big deal in sewer construction.
Wait, really? I never would have put sewers and sustainability together.
I know, it sounds kind of counterintuitive, but think about it. Traditional sewer systems use a lot of concrete, a lot of steel.
Which, from an environmental standpoint, aren't exactly the greenest materials.
Exactly. So there's a big push towards using more eco-friendly materials.
Like what?
Well, RoleCatcher specifically mentioned recycled plastic pipes.
Recycled plastic for sewer pipes.
You got it.
Okay, walk me through that. What are the advantages?
Well, for one thing, they're incredibly durable. They can handle the pressure. They're resistant to corrosion, which is huge in a sewer system.
Makes sense.
And they're lighter than traditional materials, which makes them easier to transport, less expensive too.
So, better for the environment, easier on the wallet, win-win.
Exactly. And it's not just about the materials. Some cities are even using sewer systems to generate electricity.
Well, hold on. Generate electricity from sewage. How does that even work?
It's called biogas recovery. Basically, bacteria break down the organic matter in the sewage, and that releases biogas. And that biogas, it can be used to generate electricity, even heat, turning waste into a resource.
That's incredible. Okay, so we've talked about the sustainability aspect, but RoleCatcher also mentions some pretty high-tech tools being used in sewer construction these days.
Oh yeah, the technology in this field is really evolving. For example, you've got sophisticated software that can design super efficient sewer systems.
Software for designing sewers. Didn't see that one coming.
It takes into account all sorts of factors, water flow patterns, potential environmental impacts, even the existing infrastructure we talked about.
So they're not just out there with a shovel and a dream anymore.
Nope. And it's not just design either. There's advanced equipment like robotic systems used for inspecting and even repairing pipes.
Hold on, robots in the sewers.
Yep. They can navigate those narrow pipes, identify leaks, cracks. Some can even do minor repairs.
All without having to dig up the whole street.
Exactly.
I gotta say, that's impressive. But okay, all this high-tech sewer talk is fascinating, but why should the average person care?
Because it directly affects you, whether you realize it or not.
Okay, I'm listening.
Think about it. More efficient sewer systems mean fewer backups, fewer overflows. That's huge for public health, protecting the environment.
Right. Can't argue with that.
And using this technology often means faster, less disruptive construction projects.
So less traffic, less noise pollution, all that fun stuff.
Exactly. And long term, these advancements can actually save money.
Makes sense. Less maintenance, the systems last longer.
Precisely. It's all connected.
You've definitely opened my eyes to the hidden world of sewers. Never thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
We've gone from, flushing the toilet to robots and electricity generation.
It's a lot more complex than people realize.
Speaking of complex, RoleCatcher goes into detail about the career path itself, and it's not what you might expect. It seems like there's a lot of room for growth in this field.
Oh, absolutely. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of job. You can start with the basics, then specialize in areas that interest you.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, pipelaying, for one. Or you could go into equipment operation, maybe even project management.
So let's break down that career ladder a little bit. Where do you even begin in a field like this?
Well, according to RoleCatcher, most people start as entry-level workers.
Makes sense. Learning the ropes, literally.
Exactly. You're on the construction site, getting familiar with the equipment, learning how to dig trenches, handle materials safely.
So it's about building a solid foundation first.
Right. And as you gain experience, you move up to becoming a junior sewer construction worker. That's where you start getting more involved in the actual pipe installation, learning to operate the machinery.
Okay, so you're moving beyond the basics, starting to specialize a bit.
And this is often where people start thinking about what area they really want to focus on.
Like, what are some of those options?
Well, if you love the hands-on pipe work, RoleCatcher talks about becoming a certified pipe layer.
There's a certification for that.
Oh, yeah, it's a big deal. The NCCER Certified Pipe Layer credential.
Okay, so you're like a master pipe layer if you get that.
Pretty much. It shows employers you know your stuff. But here's the thing. Career progression in this field isn't just about those technical skills.
There's more to it.
Absolutely. RoleCatcher really emphasizes that as you move up, those interpersonal skills, management skills, they become crucial.
So thinking about things like leadership, communication, problem solving.
All of that. Think about a sewer construction foreman, for example. They need to manage their team, make sure projects stay on schedule, on budget.
And probably deal with some unexpected challenges along the way, right?
Oh, for sure. And they have to be able to communicate effectively, not just with their team, but sometimes with clients, too.
Explain what's going on, address any concerns they might have.
Exactly. And you know what else RoleCatcher mentioned? Something I never would have thought of? Transportation logistics.
Wait, logistics? For sewer projects?
Yep. Think about it. All those pipes, the heavy machinery, the materials, it all has to get to the construction site somehow.
And it's not like you can just order that stuff on Amazon Prime.
Exactly. Someone has to coordinate all of that, make sure deliveries happen on time, often within very tight time frames.
Wow, that adds a whole other layer of complexity I hadn't even considered.
It's a hidden world with a lot of moving parts.
That's a great way to put it. A hidden world that keeps our cities running smoothly, even if we don't always see it.
And one that offers some surprisingly diverse career paths.
It's been eye-opening, for sure. We've gone from flushing the toilet to robots in the sewers, recycled plastic pipes, even electricity generation. It makes you realize how much we take for granted what's happening beneath our feet.
It's easy to forget about it until something goes wrong.
Right. So maybe next time you're walking down the street, spare a thought for all the amazing work that goes into those invisible systems that make modern life possible. And hey, you never know. Maybe this deep dive has inspired someone out there to look into those manholes with a little more curiosity. Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the world of sewer construction workers. We've learned about the surprising technology, the focus on sustainability, and the unexpected career paths within this essential field. Remember, knowledge is power, even when it comes to sewer systems. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep asking those what-if questions. You never know what fascinating discoveries await.